Good morning. In this video I'm going to look at Cypraeidae. It's my third video on this family, and we're going to look at the smaller species. The last two videos looked at the medium-sized and large specimens. So I'll just give an overview of what we're looking at, and then I'll start to look at some specific shell. All right, lots of common and uncommon and rare shells in these drawers. So there's Cypraeidae, a very well-known shell from all sorts of localities. A particular note is the shells that are a slightly different name. From Easter Island, Cypraeidae, some nice large ones there, and some smaller ones there, and then these Cypraeidae are from all sorts of locations, ranging from southern Australia, northern Australia, across the Indo-Pacific, places like India, Indonesia. There's a nice interesting one with the light colouring. Shells, local shells like Corica, Cypraeidae, and then there's a little group there, Cypraeidae, the southern Australian endemic shells there, a couple of revies there, some of the South African shells there. It's not a family I have ever specialised in, such as I can say with my Conidae, my Lividae, my Myricidae, but certainly collected many species over the years. Cylindrica, a very common shell up here, and again from all sorts of localities across the Indo-Pacific. Lovely little one there from Hawaii, Tessellata, I think it's called, yes. And I'll let the visuals do most of the speaking here. Lovely little one, Cypraeidae, I think that one's called, from, I can't see the name there, but it's from Brazil, and I think it's a Brazilian subspecies. All right, so a few interesting shells there. Next, another very common shell, Moneta. And again, right across the Indo-Pacific, some interesting colours there, almost white. And again, it is a very common shell in many localities. All right, I'll point out a few of my favourites. I've always liked Childrenii. Celis, again from many locations across Australia and the Indo-Pacific. Zigzag lutea, lovely shells here. Lovely nucleus, and granulata from Hawaii. Quite a few nucleus throughout this drawer. Helvola, Pararia, right, lots of tiny ones there. Oh, that's another one from Easter Island. Anglerti, I think it's called, something like that. Anglerti. Some lovely small ones there. that's a favourite of mine. I've only ever come across that species on one collecting trip. And another drawer here, lots of Anneti, beautiful large specimens there. Then these particular shells, all of them at one stage were very rare, but nowadays fairly available. I mean, some of them still command quite high prices, hundreds of dollars, but not the thousands that they used to command years ago. And that's a lovely one from New Caledonia. Miliaris eburnia, again from many locations. Beautiful large specimen there. Beautiful specimens of tortoise there, very large specimens there. From all over, not just Indo-Pacific, but lots of shells here from also from the Atlantic. And then my final drawer is here again. It's a lovely one, local shell. Beautiful Porcellas there from Vietnam, and I'm actually going collecting in Vietnam week after next. Pyroformis, another common one locally. Walkeri, very common. Hurones, and that's some lovely WA specimens with those blue stripes, particularly nice ones there. Lots of Stolida and that complex, and the Criberia complex as well. A few coxonized there, but the Criberia extremely variable, and Capricornia, so I'm just trying to think of some of the other species names that's in the Criberia group. Gascoignei was the specimen I was trying to think of. There's a couple of those there. And of course the Criberias get quite large. The very large specimens are very desired. The largest one I've got there is about 39 millimeters. And lots of subspecies named in Australia, like from Rottnest Island, from Exmouth region, have been given subspecies status. And that, interestingly, that's my local one, a small shell, but I like the variety there. More typical in the middle of Criberia, but then we've got on either side some very interesting variations in pattern, but they're all locally collected from Darwin Harbour. I would say a very rare shell in Darwin Harbour. In all of my years, I've only collected those three, plus next to it, those dead specimens, also 7 specimens in total. In 40 years. So, as I said, certainly a rare shell with just about every other species of Cypraea, of which there would be, I would say, close to 20 in the Darwin region, are all common, but certainly Criberia is not. All right, thank you. I'm sorry that was such a quick whirlwind tour of those small Cypraeas. I'm very conscious of the fact I haven't made a video for about 2 weeks, so I'm aiming to make about 3 or 4 today. Thank you.